Good afternoon. It's Friday. The date is the 11th of good old February. Anyway, lot of news here. I'm just going to talk about identifications today. A lot of questions that come up about that, so I'm going to show you piece by piece. We got the dog here on my side, obviously interested in what's going on and loves common law. Well, it hasn't told me that, but it seems to be quite interested. Common law courts, we've just changed our bit of our background. We've grown a bit more independent, if you like, but not totally. We're never independent. But anyway, I'm going to talk exactly why you would produce an ID and what it actually means. There's lots of information on some previous YouTube channel ones on what you're watching now about common law. Just look it up, because that's where you will get the real information. Beware of imitations. That's very important. And there's a lot of absolute idiotic stuff going around about common law, which is fiction, almost as bad as the fictional statute system. But you have to admire some people for trying. But if you're going to try, do it properly. Otherwise, forget it. It's a waste of time. We have a number of cases coming up. We have premises at last. We have venues, and we will have room for common law courts. All by the end of this month, we should have at least 3 or 4 cases under our belts with a bit of luck. And of course, if we're all still alive in the month after that, we'll have a lot more. Now, common law courts are very easy to set up, but they must be done lawfully and above board. Now, I spoke to some friends in police command. They know what's going on. They're very disappointed by some of the activities by other organizations, but they've promised to cease and desist some of the idiotic things they've been doing. So everybody's happy at the moment. Nobody can fight common law, because common law is the law of the land. When do you produce an ID? Whenever you're asked for it by anybody in the statute system or any system, you're asked for identification. A policeman pulls you up and asks you for identification. When you show your driving license, which, that's what you're supposed to do, I suppose, by the statute system, you show them your identification, because we'll have a look at the card now in a moment. It has a photograph of you. It has your address, your date of birth, and a barcode at the bottom. I'll explain that in a few minutes. But it's got everything to identify you. And it's good enough for the immigration department to recognize as an identification, this, I believe. It's good enough for anybody else. Well, what you're actually doing is saying, right now, in now time, I am not a person. I am a living man. You don't have to say living man. I'm a man, I'm a woman, right? That's it. End of story. All this living stuff, just forget it. If you're breathing, you're alive. And as Bill Turner said, how he proved it in court once. He took a mirror out of his pocket, and he went all over it, and it fogged up. And he said to the magistrate, that proves that I'm alive. I'm a man. And if you can get, Your Honor, if you can get that mirror, that's not a mirror, that's a magnifying glass, but I didn't have a mirror. If you can get that mirror to do the same as prove it's alive, I'll contract, because it can't, because it's the image of you. And that's basically what they're suing and taken to court and given a fine to. And of course, all the fines are all in boxes. There's no continuation, and it's all rubbish. But do not ignore it. You must, using their term, rebut it. You must stand up and say, hang on, enough is enough. I am not a person. That's the word you're going to get rid of. I am not a person. Let's go and look at the ID cards now. Certificate of Identity, Diplomat. Now, just look at this. All you have to do in order to get your ID done is to send in a photo. Given names, obviously very important. If you only got one, that's okay. If you have a family crest, as the family name goes in there in brackets, which means it's actually on the document, but it's not part of the document, because that's the deceased stated law. If you have an emblem, send it in and I put it up here, one place or the other, right? Make room for it. Live birth event. All that means live birth event. The date of birth, DOB, so the lay man or woman understands what DOLEB means. It's just date of birth, right? Address, Australia. Now the barcode. You don't send me a barcode. I send you an envelope registered. Those envelopes cost about $5.50. It's got a barcode on it. It comes by registered post and it's pretty slow. Whether that's going to improve or not, I don't know. But at the moment, it's slow. So it's basically a simple card. I'll explain some of what these things mean later on. You can look it up yourself, but I know most people is too much trouble. The flag, the Australian flag, not the blue one. I love it, but that's our real flag. On the back of the card, it just makes a statement. Now we're talking about Michael John Doe. So that's where I stand under common law. It just tells you you've got nothing to do with statute laws. Just read it yourself when you get it, or slow the video down and stop it so you can read it. It's God's law. And then the given names, your name is just John, it's John, or John Michael, Seamus, whoever the case may be, that goes in there. It's a pretty simple process. This is very important. This is basic information required for your ID, as I just said. A crest is not necessary. Okay, I will supply the barcode that comes off the envelope, and you keep that forever. Keep the envelope when it comes to you. Have the ID in it. Keep it somewhere safe, because you may need to prove one day that it actually did go through the post, because, just keep it anyway. Now, I will send you a copy for approval. And then you can send the donation if you're happy with it. Right. Now, I'm not running a business. I'm an old codger trying to make a lot of people happy, and I'm doing that so far, I think. Well, if I'm not, well, I have to work harder. Please mark it as a donation, because I end up paying tax and I can't afford that now. Okay, I think you all recognize this guy here. Great man. Right. Now, I just joined that party. They're not actually a party, because under our constitution, which of course the criminals have hidden under the carpet and they lie about it, they hidden the fact the Queen has been removed. It's under the carpet, and yet we have royal commissions. All the politicians, Labour and Liberal and the others, Nationals and all this, they're in it for themselves. They're all coming apart now because they've been lying for so long. People are waking up. Thank God in Canada, it's really waking up, and we've got a lot of decent people down there in Canberra showing exactly what's happening and fighting back. And there's no violence. It's basically making a stand. And all the people out there who are wearing masks right now, well, that's up to them. It's none of my business. But Ireland got rid of it. It's completely gone back to normal. England just got rid of it. They made a statement recently, this week, I think. And it's disappeared in a lot of places. It's gone back to as if this pandemic flu, whatever the heck you want to call it, nothing to do with me, you can call it what you like, is gone. Yet our sad people are so indoctrinated and not brainwashed, hypnotized into carrying on the way they are now. It's bloody ridiculous. It's sad. But good always triumphs over evil. Australia won. They promised to get rid of statute law. It's going to be a pretty hard thing to do, but they're going to reinforce common law. And common law is the law of the land. It's the people's law. And I say this to the guys in running these idiotic organizations around the place, creating sheriffs out of dust. Please stop it. If you want to be common law sheriffs or common law deputies, and you want to have people running around in assemblies around the country, please do it right. As I said a few times, I'm 76. I want out. I want other people to do it. I just want to help to do it. I've had enough. A lot of energy goes into making these videos. I love that. That's my hobby. That's all I want to do. I just want to help people run a common law court, do it properly, and make sure it's done properly. Now, we're going to have volunteers running an office very soon, and by the end of this month, we should have a lot more progress to show you, but we have to start somewhere small. I'm glad to see the dog's happy. Anyway, that's the main thing. Good on you, Sally. You're a lovely dog. Now, anyway, let's carry on. Now that you had a look at the IDs and how it's done, you just basically send a photograph and your information, which it says on there, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I've had a few computer crashes. The fact the one I'm doing this on crashed today again. So all being well, I'm going to go out tomorrow and my wife's chipping in and we're going to buy a brand new computer, because when you have one that shuts down in the middle of doing something, well, it's time to get rid of it. And I had somebody repairing it. Well, I got to be more careful on how I find people who fix things. But anyway, I'm only human. Now you've handed over your license to a policeman. A policeman is a common law constable. He is authorized by this state, which we don't have anymore, by the corporation, commonly known as the state government. And of course, the federalists are just as bad. And we've seen their abuse down in Canberra, but thankfully they're outnumbered now. So they've calmed down, apparently. I don't know. But anyway, you hand this over to a policeman. Okay, if it's a police constable or a police officer, they have discretion. Now, it has been said that some of the policemen have agreed with the common law ID, and when they were asked, can you show me anywhere in the law where a man or a woman is mentioned? No, it's persons finding or found committing, or whatever the case would be, or a person suspected of committing. There are a lot of decent cops out there, and they will just give you a caution and let you go, because by participating in that statute system, they're actually committing an indictable offence under Section 316 of the I think it's AAA. I forget the number offhand, but they are actually breaking their own law. And of course, under common law, they are crimes against the people. Anyway, look, we're not out there to persecute anybody, because it's slowly coming around. And if there's any cops watching this, which I know a few do, don't leave the police job. It is the best job in the world. Just get together and, as they say, do your job. Take a bomb truck down to Parliament House, pick up the criminals. They're all coming undone now. They really are coming undone. Thank God for that. And take them into custody. As a constable at law, especially a common law constable, which you are, nobody in command and then can interfere with your decision. You have full discretion, and that will have the backing of the people. The people want to love their police force, because a police service, that's what they should be, not force, a police service there to serve and protect. Now, I know from experience, you like to look after people. Policemen risk their lives if they see somebody in a fire or an accident or something. They will jump into the river and save your life. And that's what real police do. Going out giving out fines, it has to be done, because we've got clowns on the road. But common law deals with these clowns: reckless endangerment, driving without due care and attention. It's all common law offences, and you can be arrested for it and taken into custody, because that's exactly what should happen. Or at the time, given a summons to appear in court, a common law court. Not the fictional system. It's a private company, and it's completely finished. I see in some country I was watching recently where even the lawyers have decided to go to common law court. It was on Rumble. I must watch the end of it, and I'll have more information on that. Lawyers and common law don't mix, but there's no reason why they can't if they do the thing by law. How long does it take to get an ID sent out? Well, the post is pretty slow. It comes in a registered post envelope, and it really is slow at the moment. I don't know whether they're overwhelmed or they've got excuses by numbers, but excuse 23, I think they're using it at the moment. It's something to do with a virus. But anyway, that's slowing things down. But it's a hard job getting documents from one end of the country to the other. There's a lot of people involved. Anyway, get an ID card, remove yourself from the fiction, and stand up and say, I am a man, or I am a woman, or Sally here is a dog, but you don't need one for the dog. Yeah, she heard her name. Anyway, and apparently they're getting sick now too. So, man, we're in trouble. Anyway, London News sign off. I'll add something in on at the end if I forget, because I don't have a script or anything, and I'm not reading off a teleprompter. I'm just coming out of my head. I've had a lot of computer crashes, I've said, and I don't know how I survived the day of that melting here with anger and frustration. But, you know, as my dad said, it's all well that ends well. London News, sign off. Thanks. Please subscribe to the Common Law Court. At the end of it, I put the bank account up. It's a foundation. I have no control over it. It's 2 signatures to get anything done. We want to put a vehicle on the road. We had a few promises. I don't know whether they're going to come true. It's early in the year and money is pretty scarce for businesses at the moment. If you have some money, put it in, because we need to put at least 20 deputy sheriffs helping us with run the courts and stuff. And look, it's not going around arresting people or anything, but we need to start producing. I'll tell you what, I purchased a camera, a body cam. It's there somewhere. A body cam. So from now on, if I get any grief, I'll just tell you a story. Actually, I went into the RSL to pay my fees because I am a returned soldier, right? And I paid it, and I was dying to go to the loo. And I said, look, I want to nip into the loo. Oh no, the reception guy said, no, you can't. You have to produce your vaccination proof. And I said, get the manager. The manager came out. I've got my phone out and I videoed her. Now I've got the body cam. I'll be using that. And she would not allow me to go to the toilet as a returned soldier. I mean, really. So now what we've done, we'll be issuing a summons to the RSL. I mean, after all, their R stands for Royal. The Queen's been removed, so therefore the CEO of that place is guilty of a few offences. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. So we'll take them to task by the end of this month. They will have a summons. The manager and the CEO of that organization, which is masquerading as a royal organization. Anyway, London News sign off. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe. Put a few dollars in the kitty. Help us out. After all, as it says here behind my big head, it says the People's Court, and you are a man or a woman. It's your law, your country. Do something about it. And I thank the people who are doing that. I really appreciate your help. Bye for now. Bye.